Hello everyone, hope you are all doing well. There are a lot of weird facts that we don't know about the mind and body. So, we chose to title this video as 10 Unbelievable Behaviors Your Body and Brain Do. Let's get started now, because of old-fashioned science, superstition, and folklore. The extent of the astounding things our bodies and brains are capable of has been lost throughout time. We have started to go much deeper into our understanding of how we work. And the outcomes are very intriguing thanks to current medical science and notably more knowledge about the brain. The bizarre explanations for the amazing things our bodies and brains can accomplish are discussed in this video. 1. It is possible to fail a breathalyzer without drinking alcohol. Assume that you are traveling down the road normally when you notice blue lights flashing behind you. You don't remember using drugs or breaking any driving laws. You also don't remember doing anything illegal. But as soon as you realize it, the policeman is really pulling you over, and you find yourself getting breathalyzed and facing DUI charges on the side of the road. A few years back, despite his adamant admission that he had not drunk any alcohol, a Belgian man ended up facing a DUI accusation. Naturally, the cops were skeptical of him as they had heard all of this before. Ultimately, however, it was discovered that the man truly had auto-brewery syndrome, a condition in which your stomach ferments carbs into alcohol. The man needed a ton of evidence to get his case dismissed because, as you can guess, this ailment is quite unusual. Ultimately, the judge dropped the case only after he obtained independent verification of his condition from 3 different doctors. Auto-brewery syndrome is also referred to as gut fermentation syndrome and endogenous ethanol fermentation, according to Healthline. It's also referred to as drunkenness disease. This unusual illness causes you to become inebriated drink without consuming any alcohol. Alcohol is produced when your body converts starchy and sweet foods carbohydrates into energy. Diagnosing auto-brewery syndrome might be challenging. It could potentially be misdiagnosed as something else. 2. It's amazing what our subconscious minds can and cannot seek. Ever appreciate a high-budget computer-generated imagery film, but found it difficult to suspend disbelief and immerse yourself in the action for even a short while since your mind kept telling you it was all a simulation? It is possible that you have seen that this phenomenon is not limited to low-budget computer-generated imagery projects. Large-scale productions also experience it. So what's going on? It appears that when computer-generated imagery (CGI) replaces real-world effects in movies, our brains are really rather adept at picking it up. This is a subconscious brain trick that has little to do with the overall quality of the computer-generated imagery clip. You see, the issue lies in the fact that our minds don't expect anything real to be flawless. Most of the best CGI still seems way too clean and beautiful for our minds to handle, even when attempts are made to add defects. This reminds us of a scene in The Matrix where the robots recognized that humans would not accept a true utopian state. This does not imply that humans are adept at spotting deepfakes, though. Research has already shown that, despite our perceptions of our own abilities, we are completely inadequate at it. 3. After a traumatic event, your brain may select amnesia. To be clear, not all use cases are necessarily covered by this. When someone has a traumatic event that includes a significant hit to the head, there are instances where they lose their memory. In fact, most people believe that brain damage accounts for the great majority of cases in which an individual does not recall a traumatic experience. Nonetheless, there are many instances in which the person did not sustain a hit to the head severe enough to cause memory loss. They still can't recall the horrible incident. All of this is a result of our body's natural defensive system and our irrational need to shield ourselves from the worst situations. When something truly terrible happens to us, we frequently don't recall much of it, not because we forgot it, but rather because we never really experienced it in the first place. To put it another way, if something is terrible enough, our brain might decide to quit processing it all consciously, leaving nothing for us to forget in the first place. 4. Why some believe disabled individuals possess super sensations. Well, at least your other senses will get a lot better to compensate, right? Is a common remark made to someone who loses all or part of a vital sense, such as being legally blind or deaf. Usually said by kind people who are attempting to find a positive way to look at a difficult circumstance. These remarks are well-meaning, but for reasons that go beyond the fact that it isn't absolutely true, some disabled individuals grow weary of this glitch. Though it may seem pleasant, even in the event of a catastrophic loss of senses, our bodies are just incapable of undergoing such physical evolutionary changes. The idea that a person who loses a sense may experience physical changes that improve their other senses is wholly unfounded scientifically. Still, there's a reasonable explanation for the confusion. Individuals who experience sensory loss may experience improvements in their cerebral pathways, allowing them to prioritize and utilize their remaining senses more effectively. However, this does not imply that their hearing has improved physiologically. Although Daredevil has superhuman hearing, his use of echolocation is fake. 5. Sometimes certain seniors can accurately predict bad weather. Have you ever heard an elderly or older person you know say that they can feel it in their bones when bad weather is approaching? It's likely that each of us has encountered someone like this at least once in our lives, but it might be a different bone for them all. Some may say they feel it in their hip, while others may feel it in their leg, toe, or somewhere else. Even though some people are blatantly skeptical of this, the person will argue that something is happening and that they are better than the local weather service. There are layers of truth present in this situation, as is the true reality. It is true that certain older people will have conditions like osteoporosis that leave tiny spaces in their bones. And some people may experience variations in barometric pressure as a result of these hollow spaces. But this is also the reason we qualify our statement with sort of. Since barometric pressure is only one component of weather prediction and does not ensure that your forecast of impending rain will come true. 6. Bad recall of past events and our distracted and isolated modern world in present era. It has become extremely typical for people to constantly complain about their memory being somewhat poor. Even if they do not have any documented cognitive difficulties, drug usage, or other disorders. People frequently have trouble recalling even seemingly simple details, such as the locations and phone numbers of others. Of course, a large portion of this is because we feel less of a need to train our memories, now that we have so many automated systems at our disposal. But it goes far beyond than that. You see, unless we suffer from severe brain injury, once we commit something to memory, it stays with us forever. The truth is, we have a really difficult time recalling knowledge when we need it because of the way our memory retains it. Being aware that you recall something but being unable to find it in your memory is one of the most prevalent problems in the modern world. This is due to the fact that humans have evolved to encode memory addresses according to the information present in their environment. Back in the day, this made more sense, but in today's disjointed and multi-layered culture, it is more difficult to intentionally preserve memories in a meaningful way. Coincidentally, here's the solution. All you need to do is begin deliberately teaching your brain to associate meaningful cues with remembered information. Reciting facts by heart is insufficient. 7. A virus is not the direct cause of a runny nose and fever. All of us have encountered the typical cold and the occasional fever that goes along with it on numerous occasions. When we are well, we often don't give it much thought. When we aren't, we tend to focus more on how unhappy we are than obsessing over the intricate details of why our noses run and why we get fevers. The majority of folks merely think they are a virus symptom, however the situation is a little more nuanced than that. What's interesting is that most common cold symptoms, including these ones, are actually just our body's defense mechanisms trying to get rid of the virus, which makes us feel awful for a while. To really capture and remove the hazardous microorganisms from your body, your nose sneezes or runs more frequently than usual. In regards to the fever, medical professionals advise not exerting excessive effort to get rid of it unless it is becoming dangerously high. This is because it is an attempt by your body to heat itself up in order to eliminate the virus within as part of its defense system. 8. In fact, your brain gives negative experiences priority. The majority of us go through life with the assumption that, although if we are not likely to remember everything, we most likely do remember the majority of the truly significant things, and that our brains are generally very good at remembering both the positive and negative things that have happened to us. It would seem reasonable that our brains will retain at least as much positive information as negative since, after all, we want to be happy people. Sadly, this is the point at which our minds turn against us and stop being as useful as you may think. Even though our brains may recall certain happy occasions as well, they actually give more weight to bad memories than to happy ones. According to researchers, this is an evolutionary protection system that helps us recall things that could hurt or injure us so we can better avoid them in the future. This is a double-edged sword though, since experts think it can also result in sadness and a general sense of being unhappy or depressed. Naturally, this does not imply that humans lack free will. To counter this, we could decide to focus more on happy memories than bad ones in order to assist retrain our minds. 9. Why hearing our own recorded voice makes us cry. Everyone has experienced the moment when they hear a recording of their own voice played back to them and feel terrible about it. Only when other people are there does the feeling of encroaching humiliation get worse. That's when the self-doubt really sets in. Do I really sound like that? Am I really so annoying? Now when we think about how other people hear us and what they must think of our terrible voice, we wince. But since we are the only ones mishearing it, we are the only ones making fun of ourselves in that circumstance. The problem is that when we speak, our voices are not properly played back to us. In addition to entering our ears through their external sense, it also vibrates through our skull and into our ears, warping our perception of sound. Nevertheless, you can try covering your ears and speaking out loud if you really want to get a better understanding of how you actually sound without looking weird on tape. By isolating the sound, you'll be able to hear your actual and natural voice more clearly. 10. When a bright light enters your view, do you sneeze? Most likely genetic. When anything irritates our noses and our body decides it's time to get rid of it with an incredible amount of force, most of us sneeze. Although it annoys us, this is a normal occurrence, so we just blow our noses, wipe them with rags or Kleenex, and carry on with our day. But some people sneeze for different reasons than the rest of us. And for those of us who suffer from it, it may be extremely bothersome as well as genuinely perplexing. We are speaking of a condition known as photic sneeze reflex, or PER, which makes some people sneeze when they come into contact with intense light. There are a number of ideas as to why it happens, but they all come down to some sort of brain wiring going wrong, where something related to the optic nerve or other processes associated to the eyes is wrongly coupled with the area of the brain that regulates sneezing. Even while the exact mechanisms are still unknown, a 2019 Chinese study has provided insight into why some people experience it and others do not. The study, which involved more than 3,000 participants, found that the response is caused by a combination of genes. In conclusion, delving into the intricate workings of the mind and body unveils a treasure trove of astonishing facts that can truly expand our understanding of ourselves. From the brain's mysterious capabilities to the amazing body capabilities, this journey has been nothing short of mind-blowing. If you found these insights as fascinating as we did, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more mind-bending content. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with fellow adventurers in the realm of human discovery. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration. See you soon.